Well, going into this Boruto episode, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen because honestly, I'm at a point with the Boruto anime where I don't know if like an episode's going to be pretty decent or I don't know if the episode's going to be really bad. For the past couple of weeks, obviously the episodes have kind of just been bad. Honestly, they haven't been very good. It's just been mostly, I guess, enhancing the relationship between Sasuke and Sakura, and that's all I really got out of it. But it wasn't really all that entertaining, despite the fact that it took one of the Hidens, I think it was, and they adapted it for the anime viewers. But it wasn't really that good. It was kind of boring as sin. But now we have this week's episode, and it actually starts to feel like stuff is actually going on, and it's actually kind of interesting. And that's because of the main fact that Code is back in the picture. But the only thing that I have a problem with now is currently what his motivations are. Currently his motivations is that he just wants to continue what Ishiki Otsutsuki was doing, which was basically trying to create the god tree so that way they can create the fruit from the god tree so that way they can eat it, take the life force of the planet and everything within it, and everyone would die, and then basically just go do the same thing all over again to some other different planet. Because as we learned in this series, the Otsutsuki aren't some like ninja race that have existed for as long as the other ninja clans and stuff. No, they're actually just a bunch of aliens, and that's all they have ever been. They just were from aliens from outer space who took people's life forces and used that to gain strength and basically become a god. Code's current motivation right now is basically just to become what Ishiki basically told him to go do. Like, he literally gets like a vision, or maybe like before Ishiki died when he was fighting against Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and Kawaki. He was able to get like list out a very brief message to Code and basically say like, hey, go do what I was doing, but now go do it for yourself. And that's basically what his motivation currently is right now. He's basically just trying to continue to do the exact same thing that Ishiki and the other Otsutsuki were doing, and that's kind of it. You know, the only thing that really makes Code really interesting is the fact that he has a karma seal, but it's not, you know, a traditional karma seal like the one that Kawaki had and the one that Boruto currently has right now, where Boruto is the vessel for Momoshiki, and he actually has to take these medicine and these pills to make sure that he doesn't end up turning into a complete vessel. So he still has a chance to be able to figure out something. And we actually get to see something kind of interesting, and I'm glad they did it this way. So Kawaki is explaining to Boruto like the extent of Code's powers. And basically the Code that we're seeing right now is a severely nerfed version of the Code that actually currently is supposed to be existing. Because Code, back when the car organization was still thriving and alive, and Jigen and Ishiki were still alive, Code was actually stronger than Jigen and Ishiki Otsutsuki. So much so, but because he was so devoted to him, the Code actually requested that he had limiters put onto him. And now Code's main plan going on right now, he's basically trying to figure out how to get rid of those limiters from his body, either from outside means without having to get Amato to do it, or eventually going inside of the Leaf Village and just having Amato do it himself. We get to see the extent of Code's powers, the extent of his current strength and abilities right now, and to be granted, to be fair, it's not like we get to see a whole lot, right? He doesn't really get to fight the most formidable of enemies to be able to show off his true strength, but the point is that he actually has a very interesting ability, and he basically has these claw marks, right? He's able to, like, turn his hands into claws, and he slices like any area that he wants. It could be on a person, it could be on any other surface, it could literally be on anything. And what I thought was really cool about this is like they mentioned how it's sort of like the flying Raijin, in which that wherever he puts a claw mark on, he can essentially go to that from any distance that he wants. He just needs to be able to do it, and he can. But what's really cool about it is that he actually has like manipulation over it. It's not just like this one like seal that he places on a particular area. He actually is able to completely manipulate it and wrap it around like whoever he's fighting against. If it's just laying there on the ground, he can do it like basically instantaneously, like the flying Raijin. So he's very quick. He can use them to restrain other enemies. It's really cool. The episode actually shows like a little bit of what he's capable of being able to do with the claw marks, and I think it's actually a really interesting power. Right? I actually think it actually makes him kind of interesting to watch in terms of combat, but so far we don't really know anything about what Code is actually going to do. We don't know like what the extent he's willing to go towards, other than the fact that basically in the episode he just figures out that and remembers that Boros had like a cyborg, and apparently there were some cyborgs that were created that were also stronger than Ishiki. But because he had some big fucking ego, he's like, no, I don't want to use them because they're stronger than me, yada yada yada. So they get rid of them, and apparently there's this one cyborg that Boros kept in one of his facilities, and it basically has like all the knowledge in the world or something, and Code is going to use it for something, or use her for something, because the cyborg's name is Ada, and the thing that I found very weird about it was like, Ada gets out of the machine that she's in, and I guess for some reason it's just a very attractive looking woman, right? I don't know why when Amada was deciding to create these cyborgs, he tried to make some of them sexy, because it feels like he's trying to make this one sexy, and it's very weird. I don't know why, but I guess he decided to go ahead and do that. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't really know how to describe it. But yeah, that's basically just kind of what ends up happening in the episode. I guess for some reason, Code actually can't hurt Ada for some reason, because she actually tempts him to go ahead and try to kill her. And I guess for some reason he can't do it, and I guess we're going to figure out why in the next episode. As well as a couple other things revolving around Boruto and the other cast. I don't know. At least the episode was at least kind of interesting, and we're getting back into some interesting stuff that's supposed to be going on. And instead of some really boring, like, filler-ish stuff that just doesn't really enhance the story in any way, it's just completely superfluous and completely fucking boring. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say. The episode was actually kind of fun and interesting to watch, and hopefully we actually get to see more interesting stuff going on, and it doesn't drop the ball, you know? It doesn't fumble things. It actually, keeps its momentum that it's building up, and it keeps going, I want it to happen. So that's pretty much all I have to say. And with that, let's go ahead and just wrap things up. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more, please be sure to subscribe. Pretty sure I'm losing my voice or something. That's kind of what it feels like right now. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.